Hello everyone, and in today's video we're going to be implementing all of our graphic settings into our main menu. Okay, so now we're moving on to our graphic settings. So the first thing we want to do is now make sure that we can view it, and we want it to be a scroll box just like last time. And I think this time we'll actually get to see the scroll box in use because we're going to be adding a lot more settings than last time. So just like we went over in the last video, get our scroll box selected, right click, and then what we're also going to do, get our gameplay panel, find our format box, and we're just going to drag it into our graphics panel. So we hide that. We also want to delete our graphics text. Okay, and now the first setting that we're going to be adding is going to be the screen mode that the player can use, so like full screen, windowed, etc. So we're going to change the text. There we go. Window mode. And just quickly, we're gonna, before I do anything else, we're just gonna duplicate that over, just so that we have that format there safe. And we don't actually want a slider. What we want is a combo box. Right, and what a combo box does is, if we look in the content, it gives us an input array, and in this input array we can type in options. So full screen, windowed, right, trying to remember exactly what the third one's called. So to get access to all these settings and to actually set them, we need to get the game use settings, and from there we'll be able to pull out. So if we just take a look at this, and then windowed full screen. Right, and now a smaller I think if we play it out. Oh, but first, because we've changed this canvas type again, just like last time, we need to swap it. Compile. Yeah, and we'll just get and it's not appearing. XY. There we go, and now you'll see the colours are a bit off, but now we have this drop down box where we can select our different options. And now, seeing as it already says it in the box, it means that we also don't need any kind of text visualizer of what setting we're on. So we'll get that. And we can start making this do stuff. Create a group. Need to get a reference to option. Underscore. Right, so that's named appropriately. And because we've got it selected, we can get the event. Yeah, and because this should print out the item exactly how it's spelt, so we can use a switch on string. So, and remember to type these out exactly. So it is probably best to copy and paste as well, just so that you can be certain you've got it exactly the same. Right. And so now, whenever we change the combo box, it'll read what's in there, and we can now do a switch based on it. So, and I think this might be better as a variable done on construct actually. Oh, never mind. Doesn't actually let us set that as a variable. Yeah, so there we have full screen. Windowed and window full screen. And then from this, I think we can apply the settings. And hopefully it'll let us test it. Because really, this apply settings, as you'll be familiar with in most game menus, is its own button at the bottom once you've made all the changes. But let's see. Actually does anything here. Oh, you see there's a jitter, so it must be doing something. But as we're in a preview, it's a bit harder to tell. Right, and now that we've got that setting done, we're gonna be doing a drop down box again. So duplicate And this time we're going to be setting all of our resolutions. So now I'm going to put the resolutions in. I'm just going to put the most common. 1280 by 720. In brackets 720p. $1080 or rather 1920 by 1080 1080p 2560 by 1440 1440p 3840 by 2160 4K. Right, and now just like last time, we need to set it. Name this properly, and with it selected, we can do the same thing. Right, and then quickly copy and paste these. Alright, now we just need to get our game user settings. Set screen resolution, split. Oh, I missed one. And then the last one. Right, now that's all our resolutions in. Oh, that was a stupid thing to do. I thought I copy and pasted it. Right, now that's our screen resolutions in. Right, now the next thing that we're going to do is this, and go into our settings, go into our engine scalability settings. We're going to expose all of these parameters to the player and create the system where we can select between buttons. Right, so to start, we're going to do the resolution scale. Yeah. Box. This is from 0 to 100. Base is 50. Name this appropriately. This 50% by default. A little bit. We'll also make this fill more to screen. Also to have it a bit cleaner. We'll try and make it so that all our settings line up. Right. And with this, we're just doing exactly the same thing that we did last video. Yep, we don't want any decimal points. And actually, another thing I'm going to show you is the node called format text. And what the format text does is, well, exactly that. So if we use these curled brackets and type in number, close it, and then do another one, and symbol, once we press enter, it now gives us 2 slots to fill. So if we put this in to the number, and then make it literal, and just put in the percent, now every time we put in a value from our slider, it will show as a percentage. And because we just copy and pasted this, we need to go in, make this a variable, and place it. So now if we just give that a quick test. Now as we can see, as we adapt this slider, our options will always be in the percentages. Now, what we're going to do here is we're now going to expose the rest of these. And we're going to need to make a system where we can click these as buttons and they will deselect the one already selected. So, first things first, duplicate our format panel. and we're going to want to delete our slider and our text input, and we're going to put these in as buttons. Rest, I think that's about right. And get a text. Be low. And we also want to change this text. So the first one was the view distance. So we're going to call this button VD for view distance. Setting this up. And that doesn't really change, so just need to duplicate this for the amount of times that we need it. Mid, change the text. Go. Hi. I swear there was 5 settings. Okay. So I don't know what we're going to call the next one. Oh. Go. And we have run out of space a little bit, so how does very high? Yeah, that will still fit. Very high. Last. Max. There we go, and now we have our 4 buttons. And so what we're going to do is that once one of these gets selected, we're going to disable the button. But when we do that, we also need to find which option has already been selected and re-enable it. So to do that, what we need to do is we need to make a new variable. I'm going to call this button group colon view distance. Yeah. Type in button as an object reference. It's already done because I think I did it in a practice before, but we're going to make it an array. File. That. Okay. We're going to have to set these arrays in the construct. access sequence. We have reference and these arrays. So if we pull this out, I'm going to make an array for each loop. So get all our buttons. Quickly just change the name of this one. Plug all these in. We're going to need another sequence here for when we make all the other arrays. There we go, that should now make our array for us. Now we need to actually get it to be doing something. There we go. If we copy down these references here, we can there we go. I'm not sure why I did that. Okay, so when we click this button, we're going to get, well, I suppose first we actually want to get the view distance and all the game settings and set view distance quality. Right now we're doing low, so that's 0. Go through our array. And we're going to ask if the button is enabled. So if you're enabled, we're going to do nothing, and if you're not, we're going to enable it again. And once it's completed this, we're going to get the button that we're working with. There. We're going to disable. And now we just need to do this for each of our 4 settings. Next medium. And get that unclicked. I guess having spaces aren't the best. That's odd. There we go. For some reason, if I click something as a variable, it'll occasionally just try and go to that audio button. Hi. Max. Or very max in this case. Plug this in. Plug this in. And then we also need to set numbers. Oh yeah, that's right. Right, and now that should hopefully work. Another thing we want to do just for the purpose of testing, disable one of them. So now if we go into here, graphics. So something went wrong there. So we get the disabled one. So for some reason this isn't working. Let's try and minimize the window. So what it's doing is it's not going through this loop body. It's reading this as empty, even though we set it here. So the view distance, yeah, maybe we need to make sure there's the same amount of array elements that we need, even though we're not filling it. There we go. Right, that was just the issue that we were having. When we press high is low. 2 plugged into 1. Yeah, we do. Oh, my bad. I've done it a few times. Right, okay, so that's that all fixed now. And then the next thing that we're going to do is just make a button to apply these settings, because the recording time's actually gotten quite long. So now, as you can see, this format that we've done, you can now go off and continue and do this for the rest of these settings. And all you need to do is go to your game user settings and say one was anti-aliasing set, and then we're just doing the exact same thing over and over. So I wouldn't actually be showing you anything new, and this recording will probably get an hour long. But yeah, then the last thing we're going to do is maybe make this a little bit smaller. And in hindsight, maybe we should have put the scroll box in a greater canvas, because we need a button here called apply settings. That, yeah, if you have the time, I would put this scroll box inside of a greater canvas and just have this at the bottom. answer just now. Whenever this button's clicked, all the settings that we've changed will now be applied. Oh, yeah, we need to actually get the game use settings. And plug it in. Yeah, and right, and with that, I think we'll finish off the video. And in the next video, you'll be able to see that I'll also do what you lot need to do now and go in the background and just do this process for all the other graphical settings. Yeah, but with that, next time we're going to try and set up the audio, things like the master volume, etc. But yeah, with that, I will see you next time.